been a minute, so.
What up?
What up?
What up, though?
So I see you just came back from Europe.
Yeah, I did the mini European travel thing. I was gonna say world travel, not there yet, but
Okay.
yeah.
So you were with James Carter Electric Outlet.
Yes,
Right.
yes, indeed.
So you were able to, cause you know I follow you on social media. That's how I was like, yeah, I follow you on social media. But that's how I keep up with you. And I saw that you were in Europe and you happened to be down there for your birthday.
Yeah, that was the most. If you see the cheese on my face, that was probably one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. Yeah. And I wasn't. What's funny is my son, I was talking to him earlier that day, mm-hmm. and he said, you know, if you get a chance, can you record them singing "Happy Birthday" to you?
Oh.
And I was like, what?
You're like, I don't want that.
How am I supposed to do that? Like, I'm on stage, you know. But I just, you know, I told our road manager, I said, you know, if you happen to, you know, if he wishes me happy birthday, you know, can you just catch that on video? But I wasn't expecting that at all. Like the whole audience singing happy birthday.
That is awesome.
That was pretty amazing.
That's a wonderful way to enter a new chapter in your life. It kind of sets the tone.
Yeah, that made 45 worth it, you know, because that number 45 is kind of a bad luck number right now. But yeah, it made it all worth it. That was definitely a great experience.
It definitely, I think, how you begin your new year, you know, it's like it just sets the tone like for the rest of the year. And it's just like I mean, you clearly blessed. When I see your pictures and I see pictures of your queen and your family, your sons, it's like, you know, like at the end of the day, it's like that in itself is a blessing because we focus so much on like having the perfect career and like, you know, working a lot and you want to perfect your craft, but then sometimes like in the family life it's lacking. But for you to like balance everything out and then you go to Europe and you celebrate like your new year that way.
If the beginning of my year is any indication of how my year is going to turn out, I'm more than a happy camper, you know. So I'm looking forward to much bigger and better.
Well, you know, Detroit is small. Like everybody kind of know everyone.
Right.
But I remember you from like I would say about 15 years ago. Well, I ran into you. I didn't run into you, but I noticed you in the library. I don't forget a face.
You told me about that. Yeah.
I remember your sons, and I remember you were with, because I was at the library with my children.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty observant. Like I just watch people from a distance. And this is before I knew you were a musician, before I knew anything about you. But I do remember when you were with your sons and you were helping them, like they brought a book to you, like they knew, like they don't play around with education. And I remember seeing you I was just like, you know, it's beautiful to see that because, you know, brothers get a bad rep. And you always hear like, oh, I didn't have a father in my life, but to see how you're hands-on with your sons and you know, just reading to them, I just saw you just be so attentive. It was no phone, it was no selfie, it was just being in the moment and being there with your sons, and like that was my first introduction of you.
That's pretty dope.
That was pretty dope.
You know, what's funny is most likely they were the ones who, you know, told me what they wanted, and I was just there, being there for them.
I guess I think they got a pretty good example. I'm pretty sure they got a good example.
They're still bookworms. My youngest is like, you know, anytime we're by the library, he's like, you know, I'm like, do you want to go to the library? I don't have my library card, but I know my library number. Like they know their library numbers. Like,
that is so cool. I love it. I love seeing young men just like, you know, get caught up in social media and like what's the in thing and like, you know, clothes, you know, who were rocking the freshest shoes, but like they about like the books. Like I got a new book today.
From the womb, you know, I have to give credit to their mother. You know, we stress reading and you know, making sure that they kept the book in their hand and you know, even before they were born, we were always reading to them, and you know, that was just something that we wanted to make sure that they had done. So, you know, that's priority for me. You know,
Absolutely.
I want to, you know, despite whatever issues that you know we have in the world, I'm still a father first.
Yes,
you know? And so
absolutely.
I want to make sure that you know I can do everything I can in whatever way I can to make sure they're good. So, yeah.
So fast forward like 5 years until 5 years ago, and then I saw you on stage with the group that you were forming with, Collective Peace.
5 years ago.
Yeah, and you know, to know Collective Peace is like to know Detroit music, like.
Listen.
And I was like, dang, where have I been? Like I never dawned on me that like to put two and two together, like, oh, I remember this cat. But to see you do your thing, and then you open up for like, well, you worked with Zoe, right, over the summer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been, you know, Zoe's from Detroit, so we've been part of his traveling band, his touring band. I want to say since 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, so the majority of the shows that he's done with the band since 2013 has been, you know, the core of Collective, the rhythm section of Collective Peace. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome that like you all like support each other. It just seemed like and I was just talking about this with Chris and how it just seemed like it's just a family, like everybody gonna like have each other back.
Oh yeah. We get on each other.
Some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Yeah, we you know we have it's beyond music. You know, we share good and bad. You know, and that's. You know, that's family. It's beyond just, you know, notes and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you feel that in the music, like
it's
not
translate.
Absolutely.
It does translate.
Yeah.
And you feel it when you're on stage too. It's, you know, I played, and I've been in some concerts with some folks. I mean, I've been to concerts where I've seen some folks who they look like they don't like each other.
Yeah, like you're just not really feeling the energy.
You know, it's sitting there like, man, I can't wait to get off this dog on stage. I'm gonna crack you in your head.
Yeah.
You know.
But that energy is, the energy is contagious, and the crowd feel that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
When,
and that's something that you know you don't want to be. I don't want to be in the audience when you get a feeling of a vibe that somebody who's not enjoying themselves on stage. We enjoy ourselves on stage.
Y'all act a nut up on that stage. Y'all act a fool. Like y'all be.
Like no common sense at all.
Like everybody's a cookie.
Everybody's 12 years old.
It's never a dull moment.
We don't know how to act adultish. We don't know what adults.
You're like, well, we don't know none of that.
Yeah, we know the music,
you know.
But we don't know how to act adultish. It's just hilarity at all times, as much as possible.
Yeah. I think that's what make it. Yeah, that's what make it fun. Because I think, you know, some people like they put out an album like every year. Like it's just work. It's like, you know, the technical part of the stuff. You know. But it feels so organic and real, and like you really get a show, and like everyone is just so hyped, like everyone is just having a good time, and it's.
I have to, you know, give credit. You know, first of all, I've been really fortunate. Like, you know, I was born and raised in Detroit. I didn't become a musician until I was, you know, fairly well into my adulthood, until I was 24. I started playing bass, and you know, when I came back to Detroit, I had, you know, 2 or 3 years of you know, being a bass player, and you know, it was just it was, you know, I was very well welcomed, you know, from people who were very well established bass players. Who shout out to Mike Harrington, who like really looked out for me when I first started. You know, encouraged me a lot when I first got back to the city. You know, constructively critique me, and then, you know, I started out in some bands, some very notable bands in the city, notably Black Bottom Collective.
Okay.
You know, we did some amazing things together for, I want to say, 11 years, something like that.
Oh wow.
Like 2000. Our last show was 2011.
Okay.
And that was really a big part of my development. So from that to Collective Peace and you know, a few other bands that I've been a part of. I've been really fortunate. You know, this old dog always playing music in the household. I remember. I think I was like 7, 8 years old, and I woke myself up singing My mother was playing Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. I was asleep and I woke myself up singing, Never Too Much. Like music was always in the household. I remember over my father's house, we were sitting listening to, something, and everybody's head, just nobody talking, just everybody's head nodding in some way, sideways, front. Like music was always present. Me and my cousins playing around the piano to, either Shalimar or El DeBarge or something like that. It was something that was always, music was always a presence in my life. In middle school, I did marching band drums. High school, I didn't do anything. I went to a school that didn't have a band, or I didn't. I went to
no music
department.
Nothing.
All we had was airplanes and.
So who taught you how to play bass?
Primarily, I taught myself. I've taken cumulatively. I've taken probably 3 or 4 years worth of bass lessons from from different bass teachers. But when tell you how old I am, when the internet thing came out, when the internet came out, that really kind of helped with my development because I started watching a lot of videos online and stuff and kind of taking lessons that way. But primarily, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm completely self-taught, but primarily.
But it sounds like it's definitely in you. It's like innately in you.
Yeah, it's in the blood. It's definitely
absolutely.
in the blood.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah.
And so I'm missing. When I was in college, I started out playing bass in a band. So that's. I really didn't have time to, kind of play around with it. Like I had to, dive all the way in.
Yeah.
So.
So you went from that to opening up for Anthony Hamilton over the summer.
Yeah, that was pretty
huge.
That was pretty. That wasn't actually. That was the second time.
Okay.
We did the year before. We opened up for him. The year before, it was pretty amazing. As Collective Peace, we opened up and we just had some amazing times. He's a really good brother.
Yeah, I
great
see
makes
that.
some great music.
I can see that.
And he walk in like he's a family member. No pretentiousness at all about him. He's really cool. Just had some really good opportunities. Part of Collective Peace, we opened for. Not open. I'm sorry. We were Floor Trees back in band. We
at the Five.
Fox Theater. This was 2016, beginning of 2016. Yeah. Some. I'm telling you, I've been really blessed.
Well, you are pretty amazing at what you do, and people recognize that, and that really speaks volumes for you to start this off as an adult versus like a child, because like I said, most musicians, they've been doing this from
2
right,
can't walk,
right,
can't walk and talk, right. Yeah.
So
we were, as musicians, we're always hypercritical of ourselves, and I'm no different. I hear and see and think a lot of things that I like to get better at doing, and so I'm always doing my best to work on that to improve. But
I think that's what sets you apart from, and not to throw any shade, but I think true musicians are forever students. It's always room for growth.
Absolutely.
It's always, you never get too comfortable. You always got to kind of take it to the next level each time, and people recognize that. People want you to play for them and play with them.
And be a part of a growth experience. Just as a musician, there's always something that you can learn. There's always something that can be gained. Some either chord or theory or technique or sound that you can pick up. That's the beautiful thing about music. It's never something where you get bored. And so if you feel like my son is always like, I'm bored, I'm like, well, it's because you're boring. If you're bored, there's no way you can get bored if if you're always searching, if you're always looking, if that makes sense. That's kind of my philosophy. It's always something to learn.
I totally get it. And you also have some other things going on, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So you have the Mind and Heart T-shirt, where now these are T-shirts that are like my Detroit. Y'all see that? Repping. I love it. Detroiters. This is one thing about Detroit musicians and just anybody from Detroit.
So yeah, my lady. He put on blast. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, we started Mind and Heart Designs. The website is mindandheartdesigns.com. You can get not only Detroit-based apparel. We just started this line, this My Detroit collection recently. Yeah, it's just even the other things that we have on the website are they have a Detroit vibe. It's not only it doesn't really relate to Detroit, but it has that Detroit vibe.
Okay.
And just thinking about other things that that we could market, and things that we feel as it relates to Detroit. And in the age of what is it? Gentrification, and and the new Detroiters coming in. Yeah. This idea of even there was a poster or a flyer or something about this is what Detroit looks like, or this is what the new Detroit is, something like that. And a lot of people got up in arms about that whole thing, and we really got to thinking like what really is Detroit. And your Detroit, Detroit is your Detroit. It's mine. This is who we are. This is where we come from. This is our lifeline. This is our blood. So, yeah, I'm born and raised here. I'm very proud of the city. Even before,
before it became hip.
Before the Detroiters came in, and
it was Cass Corridor.
Before downtown got overly developed and all of that stuff, it was still Detroit, and there were people who were still, trying to make the best out of the situation that they had, and creating and starting businesses, and designing movements and all that stuff. So we represent that. We represent that hustle.
But we've been shining like from the beginning. We've been shining from Cass Co-op before it was a Whole Foods. We've been shining.
How about that?
Cass Corridor before it was a Midtown.
When that White Castle was there, before the new arena. Right. You know what I mean? Nobody know about that White Castle before that arena popped up. Right. So we are. This is our Detroit, and this is kind of what that whole philosophy came out of. Yes, there's a new vibe and a new energy, and it's not a bad thing. Of course, we want to see the city develop, but it's always, we don't want to see the people who have been here working hard and looking to make a difference and striving for a better life left behind.
Right, absolutely.
So this My Detroit line embodies that spirit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We never want to forget the true essence of Detroit.
Absolutely.
And it's the people.
Yeah, and it's the hustle. It's it's that work ethic. It's the grind. It's the it's the struggle, and it's the triumph. All of it. All of it wrapped around.
Absolutely, and you represent that so well.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting that part. I appreciate that.
So, you just came back from Europe.
Yeah.
Is there any upcoming shows where we can find you?
I'm doing a show with Saxonville. Shout out to Saxonville. Later in December, but we're also on tour with Zoe and Carmen Rogers. We're doing a few dates on the Eastern Seaboard. What we're doing: Charlotte, Atlanta, DC, New York, and then we're traveling inward, doing Memphis and New Year's Eve we're in St. Louis. So we're doing a few things. Excited to get back on the road. It's been a few months since we've been out with Zoe, so it's gonna be.
Because y'all did the summer.
Yeah,
tour.
we had I can't even remember where our last show was. We did a couple of shows. I know earlier in the summer we were in the West Coast, and then we did. I'm drawing a complete blank, but
it's cool.
But
we know you busy though.
I'm grateful, man. I keep them coming. I want to travel the world and do something we love. So that's the desire is to go.
Okay. And so your sons, they are. I know they are inspired by you. Do they want to take on music?
I think both of my sons are a lot like me when I was their age. Just they just want to play and be free and do whatever. And my youngest, he has an incredible ear. Like he I hear him. I don't think he knows that I listen, but he would hear a song one time and he hums it perfectly. He remembers the names of artists. If you mention the artist's name, he remembers that name. He makes references from one song. He's like, this song sounds like that song, and he's right. Like his ear is incredible. I think if I think one of them, if not both of them, at some point, they'll pick it up. I think I kind of screwed that up. That I was a little hard. I tried to, you gotta practice, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I think I might have screwed that up. But.
When I saw you at the library, you were serious about your sons. You were not playing, and but that's what we need.
Yeah,
we need that.
I think they'll float to something at some point. Hopefully, it's been my desire to get a little trio going, a musical trio going. My oldest son he plays drum. He got paid. I just want to see him he did some gig somewhere, got paid $50 for playing drums. I'm like, bro, why don't you go?
He went ahead of the game.
Right, you got the skill. He's solid. He can play, but they don't take it seriously right now, and it's like. What are you gonna do? Whenever you get a chance, whenever you want to work around to it with your old man, I'll be ready.
So, where can the audience find you on social media? And mind and heart too.
Right.
Yeah.
Run the list down. On Instagram, Kamau on base, Kamau on base. My person, I'll just leave that out. And I'm also on Facebook with Kamau on base as well.
Okay.
And then you can, we have a Facebook and a website and Instagram. Instagram is Mind and Heart _designs. Facebook is Mind and Heart Designs. Okay. And our website is Mind and Heart Designs as well.
Now, with the Detroit t-shirts and just, everything, it's Detroit style t-shirts. Are they can you make personalized t-shirts as well?
Yeah, we always we can talk business. Let's talk.
Okay, y'all hear that?
Business. We're always open to some ideas. But yeah, I mean it's we collaborate. Terry and I collaborate on some ideas, and we kind of come up with what we want. But we're always open to suggestions, and that can be incorporated onto the site.
Because folks see, when they have their family reunion, they want
to. Yep. Let's
just
talk.
thinking,
Let's talk.
So y'all open to that as well.
Always.
Okay. I just want to make sure the audience know that as well.
You give us a website, and hit us up on the website, and we can make some things work.
Right. So. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate this.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And make sure you guys tune in every Wednesday, 9 p.m. JahZara After Dark on YouTube. Make sure you tune in. All right. Take care.